In 2019, just over 3 million people from outside of Morocco visited the city of Marrakech. Conversely, only 500,000 visitors went to the city of Fez, Morocco's former capital and one of its most important and historic cities. So today, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think you should visit Fez on your next trip to Morocco. Reason number 1 to visit Fez: the world's oldest Medina.
Hello and welcome to Fez, a city whose Medina has a higher population density than even New York. We are currently outside the Medina, which is the oldest not just in Morocco, but the entire world. Its labyrinthian streets are intentionally designed to be confusing so that should invaders come, they can be used as a trap or a maze. I've also been told that as you walk around, the reason some of the walls look kind of makeshift is because if there was an invasion, they could build walls and barriers to kind of change the city as people walk through. And I think the idea of this being an ever-changing, almost living and breathing city is very fitting for Fez. One of the things that I find so remarkable about Fez is as you are walking around, if you really pay attention, there's little stories everywhere.
Such as the story of Zachariah, who's been making handicrafts here in Fez since he was 15 years old.
Fez is the capital of the handicrafts in Morocco.
He says he could work on any one piece for up to 6 hours before it's finished.
I am born in Fez. This is my city and this is my country.
He says the process of making one of these tablets is not all that complicated. At first, a design is placed on the stone, and then it's simply a process of revealing it through the chisel and hammer. And when asked why people should visit Fez, he says,
We have kind people here and gentlemen people here.
And I could not agree with him more. Countless other stories exist within Fez's walls, such as that of Yusuf, the man who makes kaftan and jalaba, or even that of Hamad, who was very eager to tell me about the health benefits of nougat.
This is everything vitamin aphrodisiac. Special sweet of the mausoleum. It is everything. The people you buy small something for sapel. My name Arabic Baraka Dumuli Idris. This is everything by hand from honey. The honey for Ashad.
Who makes and sells carpets.
My family, she's Berber. She's from the Rif Mountains. The Berber is the first inhabitants in Morocco. In Berber, we have 4 tribes. We have Bedouins, Nomad, Hot Atlas, and Middle Atlas. And the Berber life, in a long time, it was symbolic life. The Berber woman, she make a lot of carpets to sell, but she make one unique carpet for her life. She means her life in the carpets with the symbols. Yes. When she married, she gave her husband her life in the carpets. This is the traditional of the Berber.
But it's impossible to talk about the story of Fez without mentioning the historic and difficult to pronounce Mosque al-Qarawiyyin. Reason number 2, Fez's rich and complex history.
Behind me is Mosque al-Qarawiyyin, the heart of Fez and the oldest university in the world. Built in the 9th century, it still houses 20,000 students.
Beyond its age and historical significance, this university is known for its students studying medicine, philosophy, and the Quran.
But for those of you looking to get a glimpse of this history, you should know that not everyone can go inside. Like all mosques in Morocco, with the exception of the Hassan II in Casablanca, non-Muslims unfortunately cannot enter. But you can get a glimpse of this beautiful architecture from the outside atop one of the many roofs in the Medina.
But Fez's rich history and the stories of its people can be found all over the city. You just have to walk around and look.
of the Tanneries in the FES Medina, and it's a really remarkable and colorful place. It's also a testament to tradition. A lot of the styles here are very old school. They use, I think it's limestone and guam, which is just a fancy way of saying pigeon poo, in their process of kind of curing the leather made from camel, goat, sheep, and cow. I do recommend, if you are going to visit here, bring along a little sprig of mint. A lot of it will be offered at the door because it can kind of undercut the really overwhelming and horrific smell that can kind of cloud this place on a particularly hot or busy day.
Reason number 3, to visit the Jewish Quarter.
Just a short walk out from the Medina is the Jewish quarter of Fez, also known as the Mellah. The Mellah gets its name from the Arabic word for salt, pronounced here in Morocco as mel. It has this name for the various salt warehouses that could be found in amongst these streets, but today I guess is known for the copious amounts of salt and the sweat on my forehead. Moroccan history is a deeply fascinating and complicated one that's beautifully depicted here in the Synagogue of Fez through various photographs that adorn the walls. Historically, Jewish Moroccans were protected as a somewhat subordinate group known as the Dhimmi, which literally translates to protected ones. Whilst Jewish Moroccans enjoyed protection in this country, they still had to pay a special tax exclusive for them in order to receive that protection and in order to move freely about the country. Despite being a minority, the Jewish Moroccans had a rather large sphere of influence, which can be seen by looking at the proximity between the Mellah in each city and the king's palace, particularly here in Fez, the first Mellah, which is right next to the palace itself. Mellahs such as this one exist all over Morocco, including Chefchaouen, Marrakech, and even Rabat, but one I highly encourage you to visit is the one in Essaouira. Essaouira was once home to many Jewish merchants who played a very pivotal role in the proliferation of tea here in Morocco, and it's a particularly haunting place to visit now, one I highly encourage you make the trip for.
Reason number 4, the views. After visiting the Mellah, I decided to find somewhere to watch the sunset, and it was here, in a cemetery, where I met Khalid, who holds some of Fez's most interesting stories.
176 mosques inside the Medina. University Karawiyid, 16 the gate.
And it's little wonder that Khalid knows so many of Fez's stories when he's been living here for 52 years.
You've been in Fez for 52 years?
Me 52, I live here inside my house, look my terrace, my family, mother, children, brother.
And should you pass away in Fez, he'll probably be the one telling your story long after you're gone too.
30 days I open, I work from this. Name, Halima is the woman. 2022. Curious. Oh, look. Oh. This brother then.
And he seemed awfully interested in my story as well.
Married?
No, I'm not married yet.
Why? How long? How old?
30.
And Khalid insisted on taking me to his favorite spot to watch the sunset, a necropolis wall perched atop the hills that overlooked the Medina, where I was finally able to appreciate the sheer size of the university and mosque Al Aqwain.
A 15 to 20 minute walk from the center of the Medina gets you here, atop a cemetery wall overlooking the entirety of the city. Beyond being a beautiful view, this is really the only place where you can get a sense of the scale of Fez and how densely populated it is. I'll also add that it's quite possibly the best place to spend an afternoon watching the sunset. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go enjoy some nougat for personal reasons.
Aphrodisiac.
After waiting patiently for me to record one too many takes,
A brisk 15 to 20 minute... A quick walk. Sitting uphill, just sitting uphill.
Khalid insisted I come back to his apartment and have some traditional Moroccan mint tea. And it was here, sharing tea in Khalid's humble apartment, where I realized what it is that keeps bringing me back to Fez. And it's not the history, nor is it the nougat or the densely populated Medina streets, and it's certainly not the smell of the tanneries. No, it's the people and their stories, their open arms and their kindness, their readiness to invite you in and to share why they love their city too. And reason number 5, my favorite reason to visit Fez? The people. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, travel on over to one of the other ones. And if you've been to Fez, tell me what your experience was like. I always love reading travel stories and getting to know what other people's thoughts on these wonderful places are.
You are married?
No, I'm not married yet.
Why?